What? Good morning. Today is Friday. So it is Chit Chat Friday. And we will definitely be chit chatting. We will be chit chatting. So it looks like my sister is having some technical difficulty.
Here. Good
Just
morning.
good morning, everyone. She said good morning. So, just wanted to let you know my name, and who, want to let you know who we are first. My name is Ingrid Pinkett, and I am an executive assistant, executive administrator, entrepreneur, and I have a passion for retail, hence CMR Collection and RMC exclusives. And I am here to bring the business aspect and a little bit of personal touch, adding a personal touch to business love and tips. Miss Dom, let everybody know who you are.
It's Friday, y'all, and we acting like it. I'm Dominique Poydris, director and founder of Sisters Inspiring Sisters, which is a women's empowerment program focused on supporting women entrepreneurs in life and business. I bring a personal development, mindfulness, counseling, and business perspective, along with our experiences and testimonies for both of us. We're just chatting. We're actually using our lives and the things that we've learned and our expertises to bring you this show. So there's no other agenda, there's no other purpose than that, but to share what we know with all of you that are watching. Every Friday we are just chit chatting. We call it Chit Chat Friday. We just come up with topics and we bring them to you. Sometimes there's no agenda. Sometimes there is. So today we have no agenda. There's a few things that there's always something to talk about. There's always something to talk about. But today we didn't come with an agenda. Viewers, is there anything that you want to talk about? Is there anything that we can address with you? Is there anything that you would like to answer? We could start there. But if
Absolutely.
not, there's a few things that I can just throw out there, and we can just talk about them for a few minutes, and then just move on. Um,
Yeah,
Good
let us
morning.
let us know. Let us know if there's anything that you want to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Who
What do you
who uh, who's saying good morning? We cannot see you. If you're watching from the Sisters Inspiring Sisters page, we cannot see your comment. So if you can put your name next to your comment, that would be great. So that way we know who we're talking to. That would be nice. Um, anyhow, we're gonna move on. We went to a conference on Tuesday. It was called the Exceptional Women of Color Expo, and every
Mhm.
year, from the Sac Cultural Hub throws this beautiful event together. It's a staple in Sacramento. It's just something that the Black community knows about, we value, we respect, and many different people attend this event from many different walks of life. It's a beautifully well put on event to honor women that are doing great works in Sacramento. And so it's not just for business owners, it's for women, Black women, or women of color, minority women that are
Mhm.
doing great work. It was just absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely. I want to be like Clichette when I grew up. That's how beautiful. How done this event was, and so one of the things that came up for me was, what does it really mean to be a minority woman leader, not just an entrepreneur, but a leader
Thank you,
in
Carrie.
whatever your perspective field is. What does that look like? What
Mhm.
are some of the challenges that we face that maybe other women don't face and that men don't face? So
Yeah.
let's just hit on that for a few minutes. Do you see any challenges being a Black woman or minority woman in what you do in your role in your job, your business, in your career? So let's just chat about that. Ingrid, you're in corporate America. You have a business, you are an entrepreneur, but you've also had many years of being in corporate America. What does that look like for you as a Black woman?
Um, wow. um,
See, this is why we need a
And
No problem.
I would say, I know that a lot of Black women can relate to this. A lot of times in corporate America, you are the only, meaning that you are the only uh, Black everything. So sometimes you're not just the only Black woman, you're the only Black person. And sometimes that can be a little, that can be a lot of pressure. Sometimes it can be a lot of pressure. You you represent everything, um
Like,
everything, everything. Yeah, everything. You represent everything minority. That of course, those that don't look like you see. So I mean, it definitely can be interesting, but I will say this. I will say that as Black women, we're definitely resilient, and we have to have tough skin. I think that being born a Black woman, it definitely makes you, it and being raised a Black woman, just society in general, it makes you stronger. It just makes you stronger being a minority woman. So um I would say I tread lightly. Only reason why I say that I tread lightly is because you don't want things taken out of context, and I never want to say anything that is disrespectful or not real, and I want to be authentic as possible. And I would say that in definitely in corporate America, let's just be real. Corporate America is designed for men, pretty much.
white
Um,
men. Let's be clear.
it's designed for it's designed. Okay, so
So
you know
let me
what?
correct.
How shame on her for making me be
I'll
real.
go.
But
I'll go because
I,
I
I,
don't have.
well, let me say no. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say. Let me say what I'm saying.
Come, come
I
back.
was like,
Come back.
you know what, she hate y'all. She hate when I beat around the bush. Let me tell you guys something. So behind the scenes, when we talk, we are very open and upfront and all of that, right? And so we get in front of the camera, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we try to be. I try to be a little bit da da da. But okay, so real talk, real talk. Let me be my authentic self, and let me be the direct, confident, passionate leader that I
Let's
am. And let me tell you, okay, we go, yes, yes, okay, okay, hardcore. So, yes, we know that society is designed for the middle aged white man. Okay, so we all know that. So, as women, we're just going to go there. It's definitely not designed for us to sit in the C-level executive area. Okay, it's not designed that way. So as women, one, we have to fight harder. So let's start with gender inequality just in general. Then
Absolutely.
you add on top of that being a minority woman in that same area, and it becomes extremely hard for you to sometimes even function, because there are already stereotypes that are attached to you just because of the way that you look. So there are stereotypes already about being a woman. Then the gender, then you add on top of that being a minority woman, and there's a whole nother stereotype that is attached to that. And sometimes, and for the most part, it can be it can be trying. It can be, in some areas it can be positive, and in some areas it cannot feel so good. It can be negative, and
I,
you have to know how to navigate between the two of those, and make it very neutral. And it takes a lot of dancing. It sometimes it takes years. It definitely sometimes it takes years. So,
it,
yep, Adrian, exactly. So you,
that's.
Adrian and I have talked about this. She already know.
I was gonna. call you out, Adrian, and ask you how you felt. And I mean, this absolutely goes true for corporate America as well as business owners, entrepreneurs. It's the same concept, except for you're not directly working for someone, but you do have to have the same resiliency as a Black woman to walk into a woman-owned minority business. The doors closed. If you go in trying to get a loan, people look at you funny. They treat you funny, whether your credit's good or bad. The way that you get treated, you can feel it, you can see it. And this is not everybody. We're not saying everyone treats you this way, but we do have to. We do get treated differently. I've seen it many times. The door closed on me, and I think can go different ways for me. I'm a light skinned Black woman with long hair, right? And so I get treated different ways according to whoever I'm talking to, but I'm still standing in the space of a Black woman. At the end of the day, if we had to split sides, I would be pushed on the side with Ingrid. So I'm a Black woman, and I feel the effects of it. I've walked into in corporations, and pitched things and talked about things, and watched people say they would follow up, and I didn't even get an email back. Right? That has nothing to do with me, my character. That has everything to do with who I was as a person. I send someone else in to pitch the same exact information, a white woman, and we get a different response. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've done trials like this on purpose. Me and Christy, she's not on the line today, but me and Christy, that's my girl. She's a white woman, and there's been times that she said, "Let me talk to them. Let me go knock on the door. Let me have a conversation with them." And I
Mm-hmm.
know why she's doing that. It's an unsaid
Mm-hmm.
conversation that me and her don't have to have, but we
Mm-hmm.
know exactly why. And Christy's and we know exactly why Christy does that on Sisters Inspiring Sisters' behalf. Right? And so those are things that we have to do. One thing that I can say about me is that my personality remains the same. So if you don't like me, you're not gonna like me as a white woman, Black woman, light skinned woman, long hair. You're just not gonna like me, and that's okay. But I choose to stand in the space of being myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To
Mm-hmm.
stand up for myself. I choose to say you're not going to treat me like that. And if I
Mm-hmm.
lose my job, then I just lose my job. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been that person where I stood
Mm-hmm.
firm in, listen, that's not how we're going to do things over here.
Right.
Um, there's a level of respect that you're going to give me,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're my boss, you're giving me a paycheck or not. And
Right.
I think a lot of that though, I mean, Rebel Dom, I was really Rebel Dom in my younger years. I think that's a lot of that is what pushed me into entrepreneurship though, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because having to stand my ground and protect
Mm-hmm.
myself, and I my shit, like I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was a professional accountant. I knew my stuff. But to watch, I was like, you know what? I don't got to deal with this bullshit. That's how my personality was back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, getting a little better, but I because of how I was treated so much by men, and it comes from childhood, right? I've been through a lot of trauma as a child by men, and
Mm-hmm.
so as I elevated into the business world, and I seen white men treat me like that, I was like, oh hell no, and so something in me created that protection of myself. No
Mm-hmm.
more, no more, no more. You will not do me like this. And
Right.
so for me, and I'm just talking about my personal experiences. I said
Mm-hmm.
I would not allow to be mistreated, and so I stood
Right.
in the space of Black women and a protection for Black women when I
Mm-hmm.
was in those spaces. And so I think I took a step early, really early in my 20s,
Mm-hmm.
to protect us.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is that Adrian, I can so relate to your comment. So when you change jobs, you would put on a darker wig, and so you don't shock the Caucasian people with your blonde hair, girl. Hello, let me say this. I would do that a lot. And we call it in the Black community is code switching. You trying to get this job, and a lot of times it wasn't about being, you needed to look more acceptable in it for them, more like them, in order to get that position that you knew that you deserved. Everything about you, all of your credentials, your resume, all of that before they met you said, we want this person. But then when they would see you, and we all have seen stuff. I'm not telling you something that we all don't see. They got TikToks about it, YouTube things, all of this stuff about how, you when you get in there, they're like, wow, can I touch your hair? They're in awe of how you look. So you're just like, I don't want to be this is not a petting zoo. I'm not an animal for you to be just in awe and asking me 1,000 questions because of something that I can do that you can't do because of my ethnic makeup. So you go to it. So you put on a wig or you da 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 or something just so that you don't have to. They look past that during all of the interviews, all of the they can look past that. Then once you get in there, like she said, then you get in there and you go ahead and you wear what you would what you're comfortable in. You take your hair off or your wig off or things like that. And I am in that category. I have done that. I have done that. But I will tell you this is that I know people have went as far as to block their social media. I
Mhm.
don't do that. So how you see me on my social media is who I am.
Let's
So when I walk in the door, if I to choose that I want to wear a wig that day, then that's because I didn't shave my head, or I decided I wanted to wear some hair that day. But I'm still like Dom. I'm still the same person. I still come with the same strong, dominant, very direct personality. And
so
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna switch. Go ahead, finish your comment.
So, with that being said, my hair, my clothes, all of those things are don't define me. I'm wearing those things, right? But I'm still me. And even like I said, outside of that, because nowadays, contrary to what you may believe, your boss, anybody that's going to interview you, if they're looking for you or anything, they look through your social media. They look to find you. They look on any platform that they think they
So,
might be able to find you. So if you think that you're hiding, right, by the time you get to the interview, they literally know who you are. And if they still see value because they've done their research, then be come in as your authentic self, right? And I had my boss tell me, I thought you were coming in with your bald head. I was looking forward to your bald head. I said I didn't come in with my bald head because I knew you were looking for it. I knew that
so
that's what you expected, so I didn't come in that way because you wouldn't have heard anything that I said.
do so let's get back to like business and what it takes to stay in these roles,
Mhm.
to get promoted. Sometimes we only make it so far.
Mhm.
What does it take to be a leader as a black woman? There are other women, and I'll just use myself as an example. There's
Mhm.
only a couple other organizations here in Sacramento that are running a women's empowerment program as a actual business. Some people do women's empowerment stuff because they love to do it, but I'm talking about to do it as an actual business, to be in leadership, to take on that role, to have to go
Mhm.
attend, to get to go have to go shake hands with politicians and do these things to elevate my business to the next to a different category, to a different
Mhm.
level. There's certain
Mhm.
things that I need to do, right, to operate as a business, and there's only one or two other organizations that are ran here. One of them is really well ran, and it's the Women of Sacramento. And it's a great organization, great members. It's a beautiful club. But she's the only one that I know of that has a membership program built for women entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And so, what does it take for me to be able to stand as a black woman in that space and to be respected in
Mhm.
that space as running a women's organization? And I say we know that Sisters Inspiring Sisters is for all women. However, we are we have primarily Black women in our group. So we are considered a minority Black owned business. We are supporting women, Black women or minority women in business. That, I mean, that's just what it is. You can say we're all inclusive, and we are. So the more other nationalities come and join us, that's great. We're open to it. I love it. I want to see it. But as of today, 90 something percent of our organization, our volunteers, our staff are Black women. And so
Mm-hmm.
I stand in the space of a leadership of a Black woman. I do get looked at as a Black woman, and I have to operate and be more professional. I have to I have to do certain things. I have to try harder. I have to follow up. There's
Mm-hmm.
things that I have to do to be seen that other
Mm-hmm.
people don't have to do.
Mm-hmm.
People are being honored. There's things that just are happening um,
Mm-hmm.
in the spaces that other people are in that I have
Mm-hmm.
to work for.
Right.
Does that make sense? Nothing is being handed to Dominique Poitras. Nothing is being handed to Sisters Inspiring Sisters. Not
Mm-hmm.
one thing has been handed to us. And we're not asking for a handout, but we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about support, right?
Right.
Support. There's no support has been offered. Like, oh, you're doing great work. You should. That's not happening. But it does
Mm-hmm.
happen in other spaces. There's sponsorships and other things that are happening in other
Mm-hmm.
spaces because
Mm-hmm.
of who they are and the connection. Everything's really about connections and the
Right.
connections that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stay on that for a minute. Is how much harder do we have to actually work? I mean, I heard you say we have to be resilient. What does that look like? Standing in leadership as a Black woman when it's time to get that promotion, when it's time to move on to a better paying job, the competition that we are in. I don't care. Life is about competition. You can act like you're not in competition all you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Life is about competition. Can you do the job better than someone else? Is what
Mm-hmm.
you're offering better than the next person? Can
Mm-hmm.
you do better? I don't care. It is about competition. You know, and so, and I don't mean competition as in I want to fight you for this, but deep down, my resume has to look better than yours. I have to be able to do
Mm-hmm.
the job. I have to be able to create better. And so, as
Mm-hmm.
a Black woman or a minority woman of color, how much
Mm-hmm.
more for us?
You're fading out, sis. Um, you're fading out. So when regards to with regards to career, if we're talking career, you have to be exceptional. You have to be over and above. I remember my mom used to say that all the time. You have to be over and above everybody and everything else. So what someone else may be able to pass with, that's not your story. You can't get away with that. You have to bring extra levels of things to the table in order for you to be able to move forward. In your career, if that is what you choose to do or anything like that. I will say this. Let me say this though. I do want to preface this by saying this. I know and I have experienced this is that money gets you everything no matter what you look like. I'm gonna tell you that.
Absolutely.
I am going to tell you that I have experienced that. Um, honey, firsthand knowledge, and
Listen,
also seen others. Money gets you every,
absolutely.
honey, because green is green. I don't care whether you're a woman, I don't care whether you're a black woman, a black man, whatever it is.
Well, that's
This
why people with
money,
money can get away with things that we normal people can't get away with. You can almost do whatever you want when your money is right.
when you in that 1 to 2%,
That
okay,
half,
you can do
how
some
about that
things.
half?
When you in that 1 to 2% category, you can do some things. So, but bringing it all the way back down and to us that go to work every day, have visions and dreams, things like that. I mean, it is what it is. You have to be over and above. You have to be over and above. It's unfortunate that that's the case because You bring a lot of times the same value. I will say sometimes it has to do with quotas. This just be real. If an organization or a bank, a business institution, a financial institution, da da da, things like that have to meet a quota in a certain area, um, that may be the extra push that allows you to get your foot in the door. Should it be that way? No. But reality is a lot of times it is that way. And that's the time that for me, it's like that's the moment to create the spaces because you got your foot in the door based off of course, that you were qualified, but the fact that okay, out of this and this, this looks better for my investors or my stockholders or whatever. This looks better, right? So you get your foot in the door. When you get your foot in the door, kick that puppy down for other people.
I would
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. I would just say that like unspoken discrimination does exist.
Mhm,
It doesn't have to be blatant racism or blatant discrimination. It's an unspoken and unconscious discrimination that happens with people of color, not just women of color, but people of color.
mhm,
Being a
mhm,
woman just makes it a lot harder. We are coming up. We are making moves, and it's very evident that we can be in position of power.
mhm,
God created us to be powerful, resilient leaders, and we
mhm,
are starting to step into that role more and more. So, and
mhm,
social media is allowing us to see the effects of who we are, who we have always been. And so we're
mhm,
starting to see more of us in leadership roles. We're making more money. We're taking a stand. We're hiring our own people. I mean,
mhm,
that's what we're evolving into. And it's beautiful to watch. But we have so much further to go because of that subconscious biases that we don't see. They exist, you guys. Even if people are in your face, smiling and treating you, you might even think you got that job because these people treat you so well, and then
mhm,
you don't get the promotion, right? Those are
mhm,
subconscious biases.
mhm,
Know that, and I want you ladies who and whoever's watching to understand the game that you're playing,
mhm,
right? Get in a position for 10, 15, 20 years and you think that everything's all good, but you just still have not elevated to a next level, guess what? You might be in the wrong place. They may not ever elevate you to the next level. And you're doing all the right things. So I want you guys to challenge you on thinking about those things. Is are you in a position where there are biases and you're not elevating and things aren't happening? Either you need to step your game up or you settle or it's time to do something new. I challenge you all to make a decision because there are a lot of unhappy people working in unhappy jobs and never being elevated and making the same amount of money you've been making. No, 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 no.
What
I mean,
what is your I would say what is your vision for your life? Is what you doing lining up with where you want to be for the rest of your life? Is it leaving something for your legacy? If you are literally paycheck to paycheck on a job you've been on for 10, 20 years that you can't even stand, and you know that you're destined for greater, you know that this is not the end all to be all, you don't want your life to stop here. I would say to you, I would say write that down and find out what that looks like. What do you need to do to get there? Now, let me tell you this, when you first do it, yes, it's going to be scary because society has programmed you as a minority, and this is for all minorities, as a minority that it's not for you. That only happens to certain people. If you can't do that, let me tell you, the biggest thing that's going to get you through this is to push past that. Take one step. You can even do it while you're still working that job. Take one step. And when I tell you, when you take that one step, you reach that first milestone, getting closer to the goal that you have, it's going to change your mindset. It's going to change it to the fact that You are going to
Absolutely.
realize the possibilities are endless.
This
And you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Did you have
absolutely.
any final words, sis?
Final thought is that we always try to tie it back together that we have a
Hmm.
choice. We all have a
Hmm.
choice on how we want to live our life. And now is the time to choose a different choice if your life is not what you want it to be. We're going to start
Hmm.
going to making more money. Why do we limit on how much income we're allowed to make? We're going
Hmm.
to end the year with some goals, goal planning,
Hmm.
how,
Hmm.
how, how to commit to yourself to create the life that you want to live. I mean, it's so powerful to have these conversations because we're stagnant. As a people, we are stagnant. And so this conversation was important because we are living in times and we are at jobs that
Hmm.
we allow to limit us. We
Hmm.
job. Stop blaming white people or other people
Hmm.
or your boss or no. At the end of the day, me and Ingrid always bring it back that you have a choice.
Hmm.
What choice are you
Absolutely.
make for yourself? I'm going to end it right there. We challenge you to like Ingrid said, she gave the challenge. Think about it, write it down. What do you want to do with your life? If you're not living the life that you want to live, where do you want to be? That's all I have for
Mhm.
you. All of you today.
I want to thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. You could have been doing something else, but you decided to spend your first 30 minutes of your day here chit chatting with us to begin your weekend. We are humbled by your presence. We appreciate you. We want to love on you just as much as possible. I want to thank our sponsor, Sisters Inspiring Sisters. Hey, sis. Speaking of Sisters Inspiring Sisters, if you have not signed up yet, go to Sisters Inspiring Sisters. There is a brunch that is going to be October 22nd. And it's going to be at the Riverside Club. Go there, get your tickets. You don't want to miss out on that. It's called Brunching with Friends, and it's a women's empowerment brunch. So you don't want to miss that. We want to see you there.
We'll talk about that next week. I'm excited.
Okay. Come on, let's get it on. Come on and go. Come on out and brunch with us. Absolutely. This supports Sisters Inspiring Sisters. Also, CMR Collection RMC exclusive. You can find all three of those on Facebook, but also on the World Wide Web. We have websites. Please go there and patronize those businesses. Okay. And that empowerment that's going on for you. We come to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, because we're in Cali. So we will see you on Monday at 6:30 a.m. Thank you again, and you have an amazing weekend.
Goodbye.
Bye.